Okay, so my little helper Louie is here, and she's gonna help us go through this box of fun vintage holiday. Hey guys, this is Katie with Vintage and Vinyl, back with another great video for you today. And in this video, I'm excited to be participating in Katherine Young's open collaboration. It's the first one she's hosting on her YouTube channel. And Katherine just hit 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations, Katherine, on hitting that big milestone. I'd be surprised if you're not subscribed to Katherine already, but Katherine has some amazing content. She's a creative, so she posts all kinds of things from DIYs to vintage and thrift hauls. Her video that she did on vintage mourning jewelry was fascinating. I learned so much from you, Katherine. So you really are a great addition to our vintage community. So make sure you guys hit that link down below and go subscribe to Katherine. Now, one of the things I love that Katherine did when announcing the challenge for her open collaboration is she didn't set a lot of rules to it. It's something that I've really never seen done before here in our YouTube community. A lot of videos or collaborations are more challenge-like, so there's got to be some sort of rule or element that you have to follow. And I like that Katherine made this a little bit more open. So basically, she said we could create a video on anything vintage Halloween, just as long as it included saving money and thrifting and all that kind of fun stuff that we all talk about. And I am really excited to join in on this. Now, I'm going to be showcasing my collection of Halloween. Some of it I've squirreled away this past year, so it's going to be fun discovering it together because some of it I've actually forgotten that I have. So it'll be like opening Christmas presents, but for Halloween. So I'm very excited about that. I've got my Halloween brooch here from Barbie, Punk, Funk, and Junk, and my orange hat, and I'm ready to go dig through a box and see what we find. Let's go, folks. Okay, so my little helper Louie is here, and she's gonna help us go through this box of fun vintage holiday. Okay, so the first thing I found when I opened up this box was this incredible cardboard container of Red Devil's push points. And look at the graphics on this, you guys, for Halloween. I love that Red Devil and the 15-cent price tag. Absolutely incredible. This little box probably was sold at a hardware store because these are push points, not to be confused with push pins. What they are is basically little push points that would have gone into a window casing or window sill while the window was getting covered in glass, because you didn't want the glass to fall out. So they would stick these to hold the glass in while you're adding that sealant and putty. And I just think that this is so cool. I love that they've got the little instructions on the side on the box, how you would use it with the little demonstration graphics, the Red Devil with the 15-cent price tag. Just so cool. Now on the side it does say that these are made in Union, New Jersey by the Red Devil Tool Company. Now if you notice on the side here, they do not have a zip code. Now, it's possible they didn't put a zip code on here, but one of the best tricks I found for dating old advertising is using what I call the zip code trick. And zip codes, 5-digit ones, did not come out until 1963. So we know that if this would have had a zip code on it, this has to be prior to 1963. They did use 2-digit and 1-digit zip codes in 1948 to 1963 for large cities, so think like LA or New York. But this is going to be so fun to put in a little display or vignette for Halloween. I just love that. I'd kind of forgotten I had picked that up. This is also something I got last year, and I love this piece to death. I've been really careful with it because it's literally falling apart. This is a leopard Collegeville costumes mask, and you can see it's cracked on the side. You know, these things, I believe, are from the 50s, 60s era. This one might be even older. I'm not 100% sure. But they weren't meant to survive because these kinds of things were not meant for reuse. You know, kids change their costumes from year to year, so I don't think people were just storing these away in their attics or basements unless they wanted to save a piece of their child's history. So I think that this is so cool. I love the vibrant colors of the leopard mask, and I still have some of the cardboard box. Now, I don't have the heart to throw it away. It still is in pretty rough shape like the mask, but the graphics are cool for what's left on the box. So we've got part of the word Collegeville, and then you've got the little part up here saying leopard, and you've got medium child number 200 leopard, and then you've got a little segment of the box that had, it looks like a fairy, and then maybe part of a cowboy. And then you've got the rest of the Collegeville costumes made in USA. So I want to do something with this box. I don't really do junk journaling or anything, but I might be able to do some sort of collage with this. So I'm definitely hanging on to this. And I just don't have the heart to throw away the box, even though it's in tatters, because it has survived this long and been with that mask. Now, another thing that I just noticed was in here, and I'm so glad that I have one of these. I was pretty sure I did, but someone had this for sale recently, and I thought, golly, those graphics are really cool. So I'm glad that I actually own one. This is a cat's paw rubber heel, and these are actual rubber heels that would have been in a cobbler's store for your shoes. And I think that's so cool. We in this community are really creative with what we do with our different holiday displays. And one of the things I love is we take items that were relatively utilitarian and turn them into something for different holidays. And this is a perfect example because you've got the red and the black, perfect for Halloween, with the black cat on it. Just some cool graphics. And when these were sold back in the day, nobody was thinking that someone would want this years later for their Halloween vignette or display. But I just think that's so cool. It gives vintage new life again. I love the double black cats on the top too. You've got the 7 mark. Now I don't know if that's like the size of the heel or size of the shoe maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but this is just really cool. These are relatively common, but they're still hard to find in the wild. I've never seen one in person. I've only seen them online. I just think the graphics on these are stunning. They're a little cardboard box, and the heels are still inside. I just absolutely adore this. So this was a real fun find in this box here. Now I've got a whole bunch of other things for different holidays, so we're not going to look at that. I do know that I found a record with a black cat on it. I don't know this particular version of this, but I do know the song Rockin' Chair, and I think that this is so cool. It's got the black cat. Now this is on the cat label. You can find these at thrift stores, antique stores with the black cat. Now I know all the vinyl people are going to be saying, you're not holding that correctly, and oh my gosh, you just pulled that out of the box without a sleeve. Well, you can see this record is pretty much a junker copy. You know, this is not going to be able to be played without serious scratches, probably skipping. So this is in pretty poor condition. I just wanted it simply because this would be great for Halloween. So I do put this in here, but I'm not storing it probably the best way I should, even though I'm a big vinyl nerd, because I just want it for the graphics on the front. I'm not interested in actually playing the record. But look at that cat graphic. Isn't that fun? I just love this. This would be great, you know, in another display or vignette, or even hanging up, because you can, you know, put a nail in the wall and hang that by the center hole. Just some really great graphics. This, let's see, I don't know, this was 1975, and it's got the catalog number of 1996, and it is a stereo version. So very cool little 45 here. Let's see what else is in this box, because there's a lot. Like, I've got all kinds of things. I bought this for obviously St. Patrick's Day. I've got some Christmas stuff in here. I know I have a bunch of die cuts. Tons of die cuts, so I don't know what this is. Oh, that's just a sleeve. Of course, we're going to find all kinds of interesting things. Ah, here's some more Halloween. All right, so we've got our pumpkin here. Now, this is one of these popcorn decorations from the 70s, and this guy is really cool because he's got sparkly glitter eyes. Look at him. I see a lot of these, but I don't see many of them with the sparkle eyes. I think this is so cool. And I'm so glad that I have this little fun, whimsical pumpkin. I don't have a ton of this popcorn art, but I really like it for Halloween. It's just so cool. Another thing that's in here, and I know I've got some die cuts. Ah, I think this is it. Let's pull this guy out of the side of the box here. This is going to be a little interesting discovery, folks. let's see, I don't want to hurt him. So we're going to have to pull this whole thing out and take a look at what's inside. I probably should have pulled all this out of the box to begin with, but I wanted to discover it live with you guys. Oh, here's more of the Collegeville costume mask box. Look at this, folks. So this is the Collegeville costume mask box. That's the bottom part of it. It's in pretty good shape, that part. Oh, and this one has the price tag. So it's $1.88, and look at the cat graphics. And yes, it's a ballerina dancer and what appears to be a cowboy with his little lasso. Oh, that's just darling. And then we've got more of this. Look at the masquerade mask. Oh, that is just fantastic. Oh, I got to do something with this. So leave me a comment down below, folks, and let me know what you want me to do with this. I've got a little felt ghost here, which is so fun. And then this is, I think, the skeleton. So let me see if I can pull this out carefully. Yeah, so we got the die cuts. Oh, these are cool. So this is the pumpkin die cut with the corn cob in his mouth and the bow tie. Now this is pretty special because this is not your average Bastille, however you say it, die cut. This one is actually made by H.E. Lors. Now H.E. Lors, when you see this mark, was a designer for the Bastille Company in the 40s. So these are actually the older die cuts from the 40s. So always pay attention to look for the H.E. Lors die cuts. I think that this guy is so spectacular. Love him. What I do with these die cuts is I magnetize them to my door at Halloween because I've got a metal door, so it's really perfect for a small space when you live in an apartment. You can do kind of creative things like that. Now this is another H.E. Lors die cut. You've got the witch with that hat. Look at her, man. She is a scary looking little witch. I love this. These are so fun. I have a weakness for those die cuts. Oh, I remember this guy. Okay, I bought this guy, I believe, from Misty at Thrift or Junk or Vintage Hunter. This one is a Bastille, and he's one of the little skeleton guys. He's jointed, so when you pull him out, his joints move, and then you can hang him on a door. And I had him last year on my door with all of my other little die cuts. It's just so fun. Now, we don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters or anything because I'm in an apartment, but people always comment that they like my little Halloween display. And sometimes our apartment will have like a little door decorating contest. I've never won, but hopefully with these die cuts and fun little vintage items, I might win the contest this year. So he's fun, and I love that he's jointed, so you can kind of move him, you know, however you want him to go. He is just fantastic, and he is marked Bastille. I think I showed that. I can't find the little mark now, but he is. There he is. I don't know if that's going to show up, but there's Bastille made in USA. And I don't know if I have any other die cuts in here, but I've got this guy. Now, he has seen better days, but he is still fantastic. He is a little scarecrow, and I don't remember where I got him from, but he's a little scarecrow. Now, he's supposed to kind of crinkle up here, and you can see that he's had some wear. He's lived a long life. I mean, these paper things just really don't survive well over the years, but he is still cool, so he probably is all stretched out. But look at his boots. I mean, the detail and graphics on these things are pretty amazing. He's probably from the 70s, I would think, and I just love his arms. Okay, so the last two things that are in this makeshift cardboard sleeve are two little pieces of paper. Now, I saved this one because I did a collaboration with Diana at Little Vintage Me 64 last year where we had to create a spooky vignette, and I chose to do the theme from Shakespeare's Macbeth. I'm a huge theater nerd, and I love that play. And if you read before the line, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble, they have the ingredients to the witch's stew that they're creating in the play. So what I did was I made a recipe card that looked old, and I burned it, put some food coloring on it, and then I had all of the ingredients like eye of newt, hell broth, wool of bat, owlet's wing, dog tongue, adder's fork, and blind worm sting. And it was just so fun to put together. So I saved the little card. And I've also got a vintage inspired Happy Halloween postcard that someone sent me in friend mail. I just think these are great to add to displays in flower frogs. I love flower frogs for ephemera. So this is really fun. Now, the other thing that I've got in here, and I'm so glad that I got one of these finally, is a no moth tin. Now, these are pretty easy to come by online through vintage sales here in the YouTube community, but I was really glad to pick one up last year. I don't remember what seller I bought it from, but this just has some great graphics. So this is no moth. It's basically a moth tin, so these would have been hung up in your closet. You can see the little hanger here. It would have had mothballs in it and it would kill moths, but the empty containers are fun, and people like the red and white ones with the blue graphics for 4th of July, and then of course this black and orange one for Halloween. It's great because you can either hang it up if they still have the hanger, or you can use it like this and stack something fun on top of it. So this is a really cool tin. I would probably date this to about the 50s or 60s maybe. Well, it could be 40s. I don't know, the graphics could be very 40s. It's hard dating tins sometimes. You have to kind of judge by the graphics, maybe do some research on the company, or find out if there's a zip code, because there is that trick, but I don't see a zip code, so I got to judge by the graphics. Actually, this might be earlier. I'm thinking maybe 40s or 50s for this, but it's a great little tin. Okay, folks, so we are down to the bottom of the bin here. Now, one of the things I was noticing when I was going through this is how much of a hodgepodge mess it all was. I really need to stop shoving things in the bin and get it organized. So I'll do that when I put away my Halloween things this year. Now, I'm not a big fan of modern reproductions. There's nothing wrong with them, and I like the thrill and hunt of actually finding something original. But this piece is extra special to me because my grandmother bought it for me, and it is one of the most well done modern pieces of Halloween I think I've ever seen. I don't know what catalog she ordered this from, but it always comes out and takes pride of place in my displays. This is a witch, and look at the detail to her face. I mean, this is just so well done. The way they've done the wrinkles and that purple lipstick, it is just fabulous. They've used yarn and different shades of orange to create her hair and her witch's broom. They've even put this beautiful velour or like velvet fabric for her dress with this beautiful purple design. And then she's got little bits of, I don't know what fabric this is, but it's like a sheer, shiny green fabric that just looks so good for the top of her dress. She's got her broom and her witch's boots and her hat. And one of the things I love about her hat is that it's all beaded and sequined, and then it's filled with something, and there's wire going all the way through it. So this is something that is super high quality because of the way the wire is. It really helps this keep its shape and its form year after year. So this is just a fabulous piece, and I cannot wait to get this out. Now, the last thing that I see down here in the bottom of the bin that's pretty exciting is a pair of green lucite candlesticks. That's right, folks. I have a collection of lucite candlesticks, and I always get the green ones out for Christmas and Halloween. Oh, and St. Patrick's Day, but these are really fun. Now, this guy was missing the wick, so I got these at a pretty good price, and of course, they don't have their little rubber anymore to keep them in the candlesticks, but if you just put a little wad of paper towel down there or use a rubber band, it always works beautifully for keeping these guys in the candle holders. But I love that green lucite color. And I think that's pretty much it. There's some Thanksgiving-y fall things. I've also got some like modern reproduction caution tape for my door display that I do with the apartment complex. And then I always use this Halloween banner when I am hosting my annual Halloween party, which sadly I'm not able to have this year, but we'll get it out next year, and that will be extra special. So that's all that's in the bin, folks. I'm going to put it all away and get the Halloween stuff all decked out in my house. All right, folks, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of my vintage Halloween. And of course, there are many other collaborators involved in this collaboration. So make sure you go to that playlist down below, give it some love, watch everybody's videos, give a big thumbs up, and leave a kind comment. And of course, before my next video, I'll be seeing you over on Instagram at vintage_and_vinyl. And I hope, as always, you will stay in, stay safe, and binge YouTube. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye, folks.